So this is our chapter number 7, database and DBMS. DBMS stands for database management system. Okay, it is a software that is used to manage a database. So we have to study about these two things, database and DBMS. If in future, if you will do graduation in computer science, you will have to study at least one DBMS. Anyone, either SS or Excel as DBMS or MongoDB, or there are so many others. MySQL, MyAdmin, PHP MyAdmin, there are so many. So database, and nowadays this is going to become one of the most important part of computers because of this big data. And those who will study these sciences are nowadays called data scientist. So this is our chapter, database and DBMS, and we are going to have a simple introduction of database because in detail we are going to study it in class 10. There is an interesting fact about this DBMS, that the earliest database management system, means the earliest software to manage database, was created at the company IBM, one of the biggest IT company in the world. IBM, which stands for International Business Machines Corporation, it created one database management system software, means DBMS, in 1960, and that was called Information Management System, or IMS. IMS was created for NASA's Apollo space program. NASA, you know very well, is a space agency of America, and it was on the way to go to moon. So it needed a big database software to manage all the parts that is going to assemble. So for managing those big database of the parts, it asked IBM, and IBM created this Information Management System, DBMS, for NASA's program, and it was very successful. Now, what is a database? So a database is a collection of related data, means the data are related to each other, held together in an organized way. Basically they are organized in the form of table. So what is a database? A database is a collection of data, related data, means data are related to each other, and they are held together in any organized way, in the form, basically in the form of a table. There are other ways to organize data also, but basically they are organized in the form of a table. For example, you can see this is a database. Here you can see name of customer's company, last name, first name, job title of the person, city, and the state. Okay, so here you can see these are data. Last name is a data, first name is a data, job title is a data, and all of these data are related to each other. For example, last name, first name, these both are names of one person. So all of these are connected together. It is called a database. So a database is a collection of data. The data are related to each other, and they are held together in an organized way, either in the form of table or any other organized way. Now, what is the difference between data and information? Data are some raw facts without any context, means without any meaning. Suppose if I will say 42, rabbits, 16 means 4 p.m. If I will write 76, apples, 091232 400 rupees, seaside. What is the meaning of these raw facts? No meaning. If I will say, I will give these words to someone, he will not be able to understand anything. This is actually data. These are raw facts without any meaning. No one will be able to get meaning from these words. But if we will write these words like this, there are 42 I've taken from here. There are 42 apples in that box, and each one of them has been nibbed by the rabbits. So here you can get one meaning. Right now you know that 42 actually meant apples and rabbits were nibbing the apples. One more. The fare to the seaside is 400 and the journey takes 76 minutes by rail. So we have used 76 also, we have used 400 rupees also, we have used the seaside also. But here it is giving a meaning. My telephone number is 09123220. Here we have used this one. Call me at 16 means 4 p.m. So we have used this data, but we have produced meaningful information using this data. That will be called information. So information is what? Raw facts or figures like numbers, text, images, audio, video, put into some context, put into some meaning. If they will give some meaning which gives them meaning, then it will be called information. So we are not mostly concerned about data, we are mostly concerned about information. What is the meaning of that raw fact? So for that we have to put them in some context. So data are only raw facts, they do not have any meaning, you cannot get any meaning from them. But information is raw facts, means data put into some context, put into some meaning. Then you will say that this is providing some information. Next thing is, if we have data and if we want to get meaning from the data, so what we will do? Suppose we have a data, we have data EcoSport facelift Ford 110 bhp. We have data New Gen Verna Hyundai 121 bhp. We have data Nexon Tata 108 bhp. We have Ciaz facelift Maruti Suzuki 91 bhp. So these are the data that we are having. So what we have done, we have written like this: car with the name EcoSport facelift of the company Ford has maximum power as 110 bhp. Now this data has become what? Information. Now it is having some meaning, that there is a car with the name EcoSport facelift. The company which is manufacturing this car is Ford company, and the maximum power of this is 110 bhp. So like this we have created 4 information. So when you need to store large amount of data giving a meaningful purpose, you can write these as a sentence, and that will be called information. So we are actually organizing this data as information. But if we have more than 20, 100, 200, 300 sentences like this, it will be tough for us to write this information in sentences again and again, again and again. And if we will be asked that tell me which company has the highest power in which vehicle, so we will not be able to give this information. So then we need to organize this information in the form of a table so that we can easily retrieve it whenever we want to. So when you need to store large amount of data so that you can use it for any meaningful purpose, you need to organize that data. And for organizing that large amount of data, we should not be using sentences, we should be using tables. So in this topic we are going to study how to organize any data in the form of database. Now for example, we have seen this example that there is an automobile magazine company and which wants to store information about different cars. So what we have done, we have written sentences, but that will not be enough for the company. So if there are 20 car models to be compared, then it will be tough for the company to write sentences for every car model. So should they write it 20 times? And what if they want to know which car has the maximum power or the minimum power? In sentences it is very tough to get this information. So writing sentences from data is meaningful. good for small sentences and for small data, but not a solution. When we want to extract some information from the data, it will create problem. So to use data efficiently, we need to organize it in the form so that we can extract information from it, and for that we need to create a database. So to use data efficiently, we need to organize it in some form so that it is meaningful as well as useful. If we will write only in sentences, it will be meaningful but not useful. So we need to create database. Now the question comes, how to organize data to form a database? What we did previously was that we did wrote those data with sentences to create information, but that was not enough because the data was very large. So for that we need to organize the data. So how to organize the data? I just told you that if you want to organize data, the best way is to create table. For example, the previous one that we just saw, instead of sentences we can go like this: serial number 1 2 3 4. We can give like this, names like this: car name, EcoSport facelift, New Gen Verna, Nexon, CS facelift. Maker means the company: Ford, Hyundai, Tata, Maruti Suzuki. Power 110 bhp, 121 bhp, 108 bhp, 91 bhp. So we can write this data in a table. So if you want to organize data so that we can get information from it whenever we want, so we should create a table and we should give a heading to the table. Suppose the name of the magazine is VR Room Magazine, and this is a table that is providing all the information. So if you want to organize data to form database, you should go for table. Okay. Now the table is structure. Here you can see what is the structure of the table. Car name. Car name. All of the car names are having what? Alphanumeric values, means alphabet are also there and might be number can also be there. EcoSport facelift, all of these are alphabet. New Gen Verna alphabet, Nexon alphabet, Ciaz alphabet. But for example, if the car is Hyundai i10, so it will be alphanumeric. So what is field name? Field name is this. These are called field names: car name, maker, power, serial number. These are field names. So field names, car name. Car name can have alphabet also, it can have number also. These values are called alphanumeric values. Okay, here you can see these are all alphabetic values, but sometimes we can go for a car with the name i10 also, so it will be having alphanumeric values. Maker, mostly words are there, so it will be alphabets. Power. Power we are writing as number 110, 121, 108, 91. I will delete this BHP. It was just to show you. Instead of this we will write power and then in bracket I will write BHP here, and all of these will be in number. So this is the table structure. Field name, car name, type of data alphanumeric. Field name, maker, type of data alphabet. Field name, power, type of data numbers. Now tell me, this is the field name serial number. What type of data should it contain? Numeric, alphabet or alphanumeric?
So numeric.
Numeric. It should contain number. Only number, na? It will contain 1, 2, 3, 4 like this serial number. Right now. So we can say data or information, if given a structure like a structure of a table, is called a database. So if data, these are data: EcoSport, facelift, New Gen Verna, Nexon, these are data. And if this data is given a structure, or if any information is given a structure, this structure we have given a table structure, it is called a database. So data in a table is called a database. For example, one more example from the book we have taken, it is also a database. Here also you can see, this is the heading, class 7A, roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, name of student, address and contact number. What are these? Name, address and contact number. These are filled. These are filled. Filled names, roll number, filled name. And these are our data, Raina, Akashi, Kulwant, Fahim, Jacob, Tuhina. These are our data. And what is the format or structure of the data we are using? We are giving structure as table. So this data in a table is a database. Now one more database we have seen. This is also given in the book. Here you can see we have the fields: salesman number, first name, surname, sales made, target. These are the salesmans: Vineet Arora, Sunila Luna, Bhupesh Arora, Shilpi Singh, Subhash Kumar, Anand Swami, and they have made sales of 25,000, 16,000, 15,000, and this was the target. Some have done well, they have reached the target. For example, Bhupesh Arora has reached the target, 15,000 was the target, and they have achieved the target also. Some are beyond the target also, and some are less than the target. So this is a table that we have created using the data of the employees, their sales and their target, and their sales number also. These are the fields: sales number, first name, surname, sales made and target. These are the fields. Now what is a table? There are so many words which are related to a database. These are database related terms. First one is table. The whole of these things is called a table. So a table stores all of the records of a particular category. For example, this is the category of the employees. So all the records are saved here in a table. So this is a table. Next thing is record. Row wise it is called record. For example, S0 SO09 Subhash Kumar 22,000 and 20,000. This is a record. This is a record. EA01 Vineet Arora 25,000, 29,000. This is a record. A record is all of the related information about one person. For example, this one person Vineet. Sales number EA01. First name Vineet. Surname Arora. Sales made 25,000. Target 9,000. So this is an information about a single person. So a record is all of the related data about any one person or anything or entity. A record takes up single row in a table. A single row is totally taken by a record. For example, this one, this row is totally taken by a record. Field, I just told you about field. A field is one piece or one type of information about a person or thing or entity. For example, first name. First name is a field. Surname is a field. Sales made is a field. Target is a field. One piece of information. First name is one piece of information about everyone. Vineet, Sunila, Bhupesh, Shilpi. So a field is one piece or one type of information about a person or anything or entity. Now if I will ask that tell me about a person Subhash, so we'll just search Subhash here right now. But if you have two Subhash, as field agent who are making sales in the market, then it will be tough for you to understand which Subhash we are talking about. It happens in classes also. Sometimes we have two person with the same name, Ravi and Ravi. So for that we use roll number. One is having roll number 34, one is roll number 35. So that will be a special field that will identify every single person uniquely. That will be called primary key. Here instead of using the names, because names of the employees can be same, they have given a salesman number. Each salesman number will be different. So if we have two Subhash here, someone will be having the salesman number SO09, one more Subhash will be having the salesman number SO10. So this way we can identify which one is which person. So what is primary key? It is a special field of the table that stores unique value for each record. Each record will be having a unique value. SO09 is a unique value for Subhash. If we have one more Subhash, we can have same name Subhash here and here, but it will be SO10. So it is a special field of the table that stores unique value for each record, and there should be and there can be only one primary key. If we have two primary key, it will create a problem. We can use any field as primary key. We can use first name as primary key also, we can use surname as primary key also, but it should be unique. If we are using first name as primary key, there should not be two Subhash. Okay, it should be a unique value for every single record. It should be a unique value. There should not be two Subhash here. So primary key, it is a special field of the table that stores unique value for each record. It should be unique. For example, in a class, for example, this is a class, what can be the primary key? Tell me, which field can you make as primary key? Yes, class? Anyone?
Sir, roll number.
Roll number can be primary key. Roll number can become a primary key because it is unique. Rana is having roll number 1, Akashi 2. There will not be two same roll numbers in this field. So that will be a unique value, and that will be taken as primary key. Okay, and what are these things? Roll number, name, address, contact number. What do we call these things? These are called field. These are called field. Now database as a group of tables. Now if you are in a school, then this is one database. Right now this is one table actually. Class 7A, there will be one more table, class 7B, 7C, 7D, 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D. So the school is having tables like this. We have, I think, 18 tables of all the students in the school. Class 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, like this. So all of these tables are saved in a database in a school. Okay, so we can say a database is not just one table. It can be one table also, but it can be a group of tables also. So either one table is also said as database, and multiple tables combined together are also called database. So a database is not just one table. It can be more than one table. All the related tables are put together and they together form a database. Now if anyone can tell me, we have 18 classes suppose in the school, and every class is having unique values like roll number, name of a student, and they are having address and mobile number. Now I want to get information about one student in a school. How can I get that information? I want to search. There are so many tables here, and I want to search information about Ravi. Tell me, how can I get that information? Yes?
So we can go for the admission number.
Admission number. So here also, if there are more than 10 tables, then also we should create a primary key, and that is admission number. Admission number in the school is unique for every student. So we will go for admission number instead of name, because Ravi are there in 1 also, 2 also, 3 also, 10 class also, 7 class also, 8 class also. So we'll go for admission number, that is unique value. So if we want to search any information, we will go for the primary key. Here the primary key is in school is the admission number. Next thing is uses of databases. Databases are used everywhere nowadays. Wherever you want to store information, we use database. Suppose suppose you want to, if I will ask you to write roll number, name of a student and their marks, you also create one database. In a page you will create a table, and then you will write roll number, name and marks obtained. So we usually use a database. Database are used everywhere nowadays. Wherever we want to store, wherever there is a need to store and use data, we use database. For example, search engine. Suppose I want to search this word Nazareth. Okay, so what will happen? I will type Nazareth in Google and Google will give me the answers. So what is Google actually doing? Google searches this word all over the internet, right now, and then it gives us the result. But that thing it does every time. Suppose I write Nazareth, then it will search the whole of the internet and then give us one address, one list of pages. No. Suppose 2 days before someone has written Nazareth and it had searched all the websites all over the world. So after searching the website, it creates a database of all the pages that have this word Nazareth saved in its database. So when someone again comes and searches the same word Nazareth, he or she will get the result very quickly, because Google is not going to search all over the world. It will just search its database. So search engines like Google, Alta Vista, Bing, these also create database of all the websites that contain a particular word. So search engines use databases to store information about what is stored on different web pages. So when we type something to search, the search engine does not searches the whole world, the whole web. The search engine searches its database, its own database, and then gives us list of matching results. We use database in school also. There is one database that is managed by the company School Tree. It is having everything, marks of the students, your name, everything about you saved in a database. So school registration record, names of student, their class, their address, parents name, phone number, along with your attendance record, everything are stored in the school database, everything about you. Police also uses database. We have a special database of police which are accessible by police only. The police saves details of all known criminals in a database, so that if someone from any other police station wants to access that information, he or she will get information. So they use these to track criminals and solve crimes. Suppose sometimes somewhere they have found one fingerprint, so they will search this fingerprint in their database. If it is a history sheeter, means someone who is regularly involved in a crime, so they can get that information. It will be very easy for them to track criminals and solve crimes. Library. In your library also we have one database of all the books which are available, the books which are taken, the books which are available, the books which are taken by any other student, everything is saved there. A library stores details of all of their books and borrowers in a database. Telephone directory not used nowadays. We basically go for mobile phone database. Telephone numbers of all the people in a city are saved in the form of database with police. You are also creating database in your mobile phone. You are writing name of the person and then mobile number. It is also a database. why use a database? Why should we use a database? What are the benefits of using a database? Database offers these benefits. First one, databases can store very large number of records very efficiently and very easily. So if you want to store large number of records, you can go for database. It is very quick and very easy to find information. If you want to find information about Ravi, you can go for the admission number. Just type the admission number, you will get the information. So it is very quick and very easy to find information, as information is stored in organized way, in any way, either in the form of table or any other way, but it is always organized. It is easy to add new data, to edit any other data or delete any data in a database. Data can be searched very easily. Data can be sorted, means arranged very easily. Suppose I want to arrange the marks of all the students, it will be very easy for me to do so. If we have data in one software, we can import or send that data to other application also. Suppose I have data in Excel and I have to send this data, then I can easily send this data through email also. So data can be easily imported into other applications or used in other applications. More than one person can access the same database at the same time, means multi-access. If you are writing it somewhere in a paper or any other way, that will not be accessible to all the people, but a database is accessible to all the person. So multi-access and multi-users can use the same database at the same time, and from wherever they want they can use it. And security may be better than in paper files. They are more secure than paper files. They are not lost. Now what is a DBMS? Database is something creation of a table, organizing of data. Now we have some specialized software for this. This is called a DBMS. What is a DBMS? A DBMS, which stands for Database Management System, is a software that can store data, edit data, organize data in a database. So if you have data and if you want to organize data in a computer or in a mobile phone, we need a database management system or DBMS. What are the main features of a DBMS? First, it stores data at one position or one location, not everywhere. All the data are saved at one place, so it stores data at one central location. Next thing, it allows multiple users, multi-users, to use the same database at the same time. It allows data sharing. You can share the data, you can send the same data using email, you can send using WhatsApp also, you can share the data also. It provides a systematic way to use database. Every database comes with a user interface, so it provides you a systematic way to use any database called user interface. One more thing, a DBMS always creates duplicate copy of database. The duplicate copy is called backup. Duplicate saved copy of data is called backup. So every time it itself creates a data, it creates a backup. So our DBMS creates multiple backups. You can also create one backup. A DBMS creates duplicate copies of its database so that in case of some data loss, data theft, data got deleted, data can be retrieved from saved copies, means from backup. A DBMS can control who can access the data and who cannot using password system. So you can avoid any outside person to use the data. Some examples of most popular database management systems are Oracle Database, MySQL, MongoDB, Microsoft SQL Server, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Microsoft Access, and IBM's DB2. These are one of the most popular database management systems. In this chapter, we are going to study this one, Microsoft Access.